reading. These readings, of course, are from the Science of Mind magazine, which has been in publication approaching 100 years. Next year or the year after will hit 100 years. Continuous publication, which is pretty good for any publication, right? Anyway, these are from the daily guides. And as I mentioned earlier this month, the writer this month is someone I know reasonably well, Reverend Dr. Michelle Medrano, who is one of the co-lead ministers at Mile High Church in Lakewood, just outside of Denver in Colorado. And it's a pretty big organization. So anyway, here we go. And she's focusing this month, in case you've missed them, on really caring for ourselves, which is something that my colleague, Reverend Lisa Ryan, always pushes, which is a really good thing, I think. Today's reading is entitled Compassion for Myself. Compassion for Myself. First quote is from Christopher Germer. I had to look him up, actually, because I personally had never heard of him. Apparently, he's quite well known. He is a psychotherapist who specializes in compassion, amongst other things, meditation. He's a clinical psychologist. He's written a bunch of books, from what I can see here. Most of them center around compassion. The Mindful Self-Compassion Workshop, the Mindful Self-Compassion Program, then Mindful Self-Compassion for Burnout. So fits right in with today's theme, compassion for myself. So here's what he says. Self-compassion, well, it's simply treating yourself with the same kindness, care, and concern that you would show for a good friend. Self-compassion is simply treating yourself with the same kindness, care, and concern that you would show for a good friend, or anyone, really, for that matter. We can have no understanding of divine compassion unless we ourselves first exercise compassion. Ernest Holmes, Help for Today, on page 54, paragraph 3. We can have no understanding of divine compassion unless we ourselves first exercise compassion. And this is Reverend Michelle, who says, self-compassion is a building block to self-love. To have it means that we speak kindly to ourselves. It means we love and honor ourselves, even when we make a mistake. It means we give ourselves the benefit of the doubt. All these things are so much easier for us to do for others. We might go out of our way to have and to express compassionate understanding for and about other people. Sometimes we go to great lengths to guide ourselves to a place of great compassion for other people. She goes on to say, I'm blessed to have a few young children in my life. Recently, I noticed how I go out of my way to show them compassion. I want them to feel loved always, and I will stay present so that I can be sure that they experience an adult who does what? Who treats them with compassion and understanding. It dawned on me that all of these gestures of compassion would be great to give to myself, if I could just do the same things for myself. If I could just talk to myself as if I were a child that I cherished. That might allow me to experience my own compassionate heart so that I easily want to give to others. When I do this, I hear my compassionate inner voice urging me to feel the softness of my journey. And as you can see, the whole sets of readings so far this month, and we're up to reading number 9 this month, right, is about caring for ourselves. And it's something that was definitely not in my experience when I was growing up as a child or a teenager or even a young adult. It's just not. In fact, just the opposite. I was told that I was a horrible sinner and I always needed to repent, and I would continue to need to do that my whole life. And it's not the way that makes the world a better place. I mean, it really just isn't. All you have to do is go back a few hundred years and look how the Puritans behaved, whether it was in England before they came here or when they arrived on these shores. They were not a nice bunch of people. No, I'm not saying that they didn't believe in what they were doing. They did. They obviously deeply believed in what they were doing, but what they believed in was, in my humble opinion, a corruption of what they should have believed in. Jesus taught love. And when he was asked what is the greatest commandment, he said to love the Lord your God with your whole mind, your whole heart, your whole soul, your whole being, in other words, and to love your neighbor as yourself. And I've repeated this a bunch of times. It says to love your neighbor as yourself. So if you don't love yourself, how can you love your neighbor, and how can you love anything greater than yourself? You can't. So it has to begin with you. And if you love yourself, by definition, you're going to be compassionate towards yourself. Now, it doesn't mean that when we've done stuff that is hurtful and harmful, that we don't make amends for that. No, it doesn't mean that at all. But what it means is that once we come to the realization that something we have done is wrong and we start to make amends for it, then it's done. It's in the past. And that the way we look upon ourselves is with love and compassion as we would other people. So this is what it's all about. It's not saying you've got free license to do anything and hurt anybody. No, the exact opposite. What it means is that you love yourself, you care for yourself, you're compassionate towards yourself, and you show that same compassion and love towards other people as well. But it has to begin with you. You cannot, we cannot say it too many times, you cannot give that which you do not have, whether it be money, love, compassion, understanding, whatever. You cannot give what you don't have. So it isn't being big-headed or anything to start caring for yourself. It's really important. Take a deep breath. So as you go about the rest of your weekend, then think about, how can I show compassion towards myself? How can I forgive myself? And if you need help reaching out to do this, and some people do need help, some people need professional help, like the one I mentioned at the beginning, Christopher Germer. If you need to reach out to a practitioner, a minister, a psychotherapist, a friend, depending on what it is you actually need, then the thing is to do so. As I said, a lot of us can actually manage this on our own. We can read good books, we can listen to things like this, we can practice it, and we can use affirmations, which always really help. And we can do the exercises like looking at ourselves in the mirror and saying, I love you, I accept you just as you are. But as I said, some people need help beyond that. And if you do, please reach out. The affirmation: today I speak to and think of myself with kindness and compassion. Today I speak to and think of myself with kindness and compassion. It's a really, really good affirmation. And if you can say it and mean it, you are well on your way. If you say it, but you can't mean it, well, it just means you got more work to do, that's all. And as I said, if necessary, we're here to help you. Two things will happen tomorrow. 11 a.m. will be the service at Creative Life Spiritual Center in person, and on Creative Life Spiritual Center's Facebook page, my colleague Reverend Lisa will be doing her reading at 9:15 in the morning on Creative Life Spiritual Center's Facebook page. And as I've often mentioned, I'll be back tomorrow on whatever social media platform you saw this. So, and these things are recorded, so they're available for a later download. On my own personal page, Prosperity Living, Creative Life Spiritual Center's Facebook page, and usually on lots of other social media, Instagram, Tumblr, Threads, Blue Sky, and LinkedIn. Yeah, that's about it. So until next time, please take care of yourselves. If you're in a country or in a part of the world where it's really hot right now, please really take care of yourselves. And until next time, namaste.